Hello, everybody. My name is Sir Bojangles III. You people are my audience, and welcome to the Gentlemanly Podcast. Now, this is an idea I've had in the works for a while. I just actually now got into setting all of this in motion thanks to a suggestion from a viewer. Now, before we get started, I actually want to call out and recommend a few pieces of software, which is what I'm using to run this, which is all completely freeware. And it's not that I'm being brand dealed here. I just really think you guys should get into this if you want to do it. Because one of my biggest things is if you want to do something, just go ahead and fucking do it. Don't let everybody else tell you that you can't do it. Just go ahead and fucking do it. Now, the first piece of software I'm going to recommend to you is Voicemeeter, is what I'm using to produce this podcast. I am literally mixing all the audio through this little piece of virtual software, and it is the easiest thing to use ever. It is what I played the music through. It is what all being recorded and streamed directly to Audacity. And if I wanted to, I could add in a secondary mic. Now, basically what we have going on here today is I'm going to be going over some gaming news and talking over some topics that are going on over the channel. It's basically going to be a combination of the two. Now, basically what's going to happen today, now that we're actually going to get started down into it, the first real big piece of news we have is with the Five Nights at Freddy's RPG being pulled from Steam sale. Now, this was all done literally just 2 days ago as I'm recording this. Basically, the reason I have a bone to pick with this is, well, basically when the first Five Nights at Freddy's came out, I was kind of forced into playing it. A fan bought it for me and said, hey, could you play it for me? And I always have a policy of if a fan buys me a game, whether I like the game or not, I will play it at least once because it was a gift. So as we were playing this game, I hated it. I hated every goddamn second of it. I hated everything that it stood for. Then we went on to the second game was released. One of my YouTube buddies bought it, sent it my way because they wanted to see me get scared like a bitch again. So I played it. The third game came out. Same goddamn thing. We played the game, we hated every moment. Now, the fourth game, I mixed it up, I bought it myself, and I played multiple episodes because by that point I was kind of used to it. So apparently the next natural progression is when you make 4 successful indie titles, the next thing you do is make an RPG with all the bad guys from your first game, except you make them fucking cute and cuddly. I'm sorry, the reason we liked the first 4 games was not because they were cute and cuddly, was not because we were nostalgic for Chuck E. Cheese, because they were fucking scary. And that all the lore left it open to interpretation. Now, that's where it pisses me off. How do you go from making all these characters, making us hate them because of how much they bullshit their way into killing us and all this other shit over the course of 4 fucking games? 4 games, and then take it and expect us to love them by making them cute and cuddly. And then he wondered why it didn't get the best review, or the same as all his other ones, because the people who were buying the game, even though they knew it wouldn't be the same, were still used to him making a horror title. A game that was literally the only reason for his existence is to make you shit your pants. Now, seeing as how that was the first 4 games, and this one comes out, it didn't get the best review. It didn't get bad reviews, it still got overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It didn't get the best reviews that he would want. So he's pulled it down, and it's going to be released as freeware as soon as he actually updates it or gets it to the point where he wants it to be. Now, that all being said, I'm a huge fan of the guy. He makes great games. Scott Cawthon, if you somehow hear this, you probably won't, because I'm a nobody just talking to the microphone. But if you somehow hear this, I'm not criticizing you, man. I love you. I love the games you make. This game was just really fucking scary, and I did not enjoy playing them for the sole reason of the animatronics. I just don't see how you can take all of those and make them cute and expect us to love them. I just don't. Also, congrats on your game being made into a movie and a book. That's actually really fucking impressive. Props to you, man. You're a great guy. Now, moving on, the title for someone that has nothing to do with their life goes to, what was his username here? Give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. Forgotten Days on Flickr is his username. Or Dayton is his name. is a Lego architect, and he somehow had the fucking time to take 18,000 Lego pieces. 18,000 fucking Lego pieces, and build Batman's Arkham Asylum with those 18,000 fucking Lego pieces. Now, first off, where the fuck do you buy enough Lego bricks of all the same? Do you get like 18,000 pieces worth of different Lego packages to get all the different pieces? Is this just a collective? You just have a lot of fucking Lego pieces just fucking laying around for people to step on? Or did you go out and buy certain Lego packs? It doesn't say. It just says that there's that many Lego bricks thrown into this. Now, this guy just sat here and took his time, because it's actually very scarily accurate. So this guy sat there and took his time and built this brick by fucking brick for God knows how long, just so he could take it to a Lego convention in Australia. And even has a front yard that features guards and the fucking Batmobile. And if you look at the roof, apparently you'll notice Batman and Catwoman hanging out on the roof of the insane asylum. There's 5 rooms inside with 7 cells. The rooms are occupied by doctors, guards, and Batman's sidekicks, Robin and Nightwing. And in the bottom floor of the asylum, you'll find Batman's rogues gallery locked behind bars. The villains include the Joker, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, basically everybody who he's fucking fought. And this guy just happened to have all these pieces laying around to make this a thing. Now, that being said, how little... What's the word I'm looking for here? How little of stuff going on do you have to just sit around and do that? I barely have time to sit down and do things like this podcast, which I've wanted to do for forever, stand-up comedy. I barely have time to do YouTube itself. And yet this guy has time to sit here and play with Legos that fucking much. I'm sorry. I want whatever job this guy has. Jesus Christ. That's just fucking ridiculous. I can't get over that. 18,000 Lego bricks. It took me forever just to build the Death Star model that I got when I was 12. And I had nothing but time then. And this guy just took the 18,000 pieces and built something without fucking instructions from a picture of it. Probably multiple pictures, because I don't think it's ever given a blueprint of it. So, like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? What are you doing with your life is a question you need to ask yourself every morning. And this guy, I think, just skipped that. Just completely skipped it for however long it took him to build that. It doesn't even say how long it took. It just says how many Lego pieces. Jesus Christ. Okay, and here's another story that happened in gaming this week. This is actually one of my favorites. It's EA is trying not to be a greedy beast. This says the CEO of EA. Now, you all are familiar with EA. They're basically the gigantic video game corporation, everything that is wrong with the video game industry. They just sit on their asses and pitch a game to us that has all these cool features. Then they release the game with half of those features, and you buy it because you're a fan of the fucking game. And then, after about 4 months, when you've already beaten the game numerous times, and you're getting ready to put it back on the shelf, they're like, you know what? Let's release the other half of the game that we told you was going to come out with the original. Let's just release it. And you know what? It's not even going to be free. We're going to make you pay another $30 for it. Enjoy? No! We don't enjoy it. I am overloading the mic. I'm going to turn myself down so I can yell. We do not enjoy this, EA. We do not enjoy paying $20 for the other half of a game that you pitch to us. That's part of the reason the gaming industry is crashing. We're getting close to another dangerous scare like we did back in the towards the 80s when the NES was made. And I don't think Japan's going to be able to save us this time. Oh, that being said, I love you guys, EA. You guys release amazing games. I love each and every one of you. You guys release awesome content. Just cut back on the DLC. Make some of it free at least. God damn it. At least some of it. Just some of it. Don't even have to release everything. It's one of those things that really pisses you off. And now they're releasing a Origin or EA Access. Their Origin platform is failing because we hate them, and now they're releasing a patch for PC and Xbox One where you pay $5 a month and you can play free games. And how much do you want to fucking bet they're piece of shit titles that nobody ever played when they were $50, so now they're trying to give us access to all of them for $5 a month. Now, I'm not going to spend $5 of my hard-earned money for a bunch of titles that I'm probably never going to play. So this is probably just going to end up like any other advertising campaign that they have for Origin, and it's not going to work. However, kudos for the effort. That's all I can really say, I guess, is kudos for the effort. Because in the end, it's not really about how much money they make. And a lot of game developers are forgetting this, which is why a lot of people are turning to the indie titles. It's not about how much money the game can make. It's about how much the gamers enjoy the game. Because if you can make a game that a gamer loves, they're going to go out of their way to buy that game. They're going to buy that game and buy that game and buy that game, get their friends to buy it, get their friends' friends to buy it. Everybody they know is going to own that game because they love that game that much. It's not about how much money you can make here, and a lot of companies are forgetting that. So many different places are starting to take after the EA business model, which is release half a game unfinished and then release the rest of it as DLC, which you pay for. And that's going to lead to another gaming crash. I've said that 2 times now, but I need to reiterate that point. This is going to lead to another gaming crash, and we're going to have to deal with it. And none of us is going to be happy about that. Okay, moving on, there's new content to be released in the free January update for Star Wars Battlefront, which was a game we were all waiting for and looking forward to just as much as Fallout 4. Now, the free... That's the first time I've stuttered on this one. If they release it, which they said they are, but sometimes, as we all know, EA can be touchy about stuff like that. They'll say they're going to release something and then they won't. They'll push it back. But supposedly, the content will deploy on Wednesday, and it will make various gameplay and balance tweaks. It's going to be adding new multiplayer modes for the Tatooine map, such as Blast, Droid Run, Drop Zone, Hero Hunt, and Heroes vs. Villains. Hoth seems costumes from the Empire Strike Back. Luke Skywalker and Han Solo are going to be wearing the outfits whenever they're on the frozen plains of Hoth. And Luke even gets his original blue lightsaber, which I think is a nice touch. Nice nod to the original Star Wars. And then as you move on, you get to a space for daily challenges and community events, giving players the chance to earn credits and unlock things faster, which is actually a pretty good idea. I just don't agree with how they're implementing it. It's basically, I think a lot of developers who make games that are free to play need to take that model into effect. Because a lot of times, as we all know, when you release a game for free, everybody downloads it. And when everybody downloads it, everybody wants to be better than everybody else. So the second you release a paid version or a pay pack that makes you better than everybody else, those players become OP, and the rest of us who don't have money or don't really like spending money on games, we end up getting the short end of the stick, and as everybody else fucks our shit up. And earning things the same way that everybody else just bought them makes it take longer, which in turn means we don't have much fun with the game. If you're going to release a game for free, it has to be 100% free. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? Games are hard enough as it is without people adding in pay packs where, oh, you want this one thing that's going to one-shot everybody you touch it with? Here, pay $5 and you get this, and fuck everybody else. That's never been a good idea. It never will be a good idea. And until that stops, I'm not going to be playing free-to-play games. I keep getting requests for the game. What's the name? Warframe. I'm kind of abstaining from that from now. I might play it in the future, but for now we're just not playing it because every time I go to play it, everybody just jumps on me and just makes the gaming experience terrible. And I'm not going to play a game that I don't have fun with. One of the biggest things about YouTube and anything in general is if you don't have fun with it, you're not going to put 100% of your effort into it. And at that point, there's no point in really playing a game if you're not having fun with it. Because again, that's the point of video games. It's to have fun. Not to make money, not to buy a bunch of DLC. It's to fucking have fun. Now, moving on to a game that I've always had fun with, the Far Cry series. They're releasing a new title here called Far Cry Primal. Now this, I feel, is the only natural progression. This game actually takes back in the barbaric times where they're going to take a broadsword, walk into your fucking village, stab everybody, and sell your kids into slavery. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do that, and you're going to have nothing to do with it because your ass is dead. You've been stabbed with a fucking broadsword. Now, that being said, this is supposed to basically take back from the modern day titles because basically every Far Cry has just placed itself in that modern time zone that you're in, and it keeps putting you in that. Now that they're throwing us back to the beginning, I feel like the game's going to be a lot more fun because most games now are guns blowing up and a bunch of basically just waypoints and missions that are predetermined, and even the open world games are becoming a little repetitive. With Far Cry Primal kind of taking a distance from that, where they're, okay, you're back in medieval warfare, you have a bow and arrow, you have a sword, do something with it. I feel like that a lot of games need to start getting back to that, because I might just be a nostalgic asshole, but I'm sorry, I will still play a game like Earthbound or Super Mario Brothers before I'll play a AAA title like Call of Duty or anything else. And that's not to say I don't like those games. I would just rather play the old NES titles or the older retro-y games than I would the newer stuff. Now, again, that's just my opinion. Don't attack me for it. That's just what I think. I enjoy playing a game that kind of takes me back to when I was a kid. Now, that everybody's saying that that's just kids our generation, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with me on that. Now, Far Cry Primal is supposed to be taking you back to the Stone Age. You're going to be hunting for food, supplies. It basically makes it like, it's almost like a survival game in the point where you literally have to fight for survival, but at the same time your shit's trying to be fucked up by other tribes. So I feel like that's going to be a good game. Now, we've been going for quite a while. We've already been going for about 17 minutes, which is longer than the first attempt to record this was. The first attempt ended up getting fucked up. Now, basically what I'm saying here is, I love you guys so much. Thank you all so much for listening to this podcast on YouTube. For those of you who are on YouTube, there's a shout out for you here in a second. Basically what's going on right now is I'm going to be doing this podcast every once in a while. Mostly it's the time because I like this free form. I get to just kind of talk to you guys instead of having to be scripted like a comedy sketch or having to just be spontaneous like in an actual video game session that I play with you guys. I actually get to just talk. And that's not really something I'm used to, so this is kind of like a first draft, and I really enjoy doing this. So I'm probably going to do another one here next week. Now, thank you all so much for listening again. Again, I'm going to plug a few pieces of software. Voice Meter, again, free software. You can download it at www.voicemeter.com. I am not sponsored by these people. This is a completely donation-work software. I highly recommend that you download it and donate. You don't even have to donate to download it, but I highly recommend that you do because this piece of software is amazing. It made doing this so much easier. And another free software I want you guys to check out if you don't already know what it is, it's called Audacity. It's what a lot of the big YouTubers use to record their audio because recording everything separately makes it better production value for you guys. I'm actually using Audacity to record this, and I'm using Voice Meter to produce it. So again, I highly suggest downloading both of those programs if you want to do this, because one of my biggest rules in life is if you want to do something, just fucking do it. Don't let somebody else tell you that you can't do it. Just fucking do it. To quote Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just fucking do it. Now, that being said, another thing I want to plug, which again, this is kind of shameless self-promoting, I recently was able to give you guys a super sale on all of my merchandise at spreadshirt.com/SerboJangles3. You're getting basically a discount where I make nothing off these shirts for however long it takes. I'm not really too worried about it. I might just make it for till the end of February. You're going to be able to get all of the shirts without paying my creation fee, basically. All you're paying for is for the shirt to be made. And until February 2nd, from tonight until February 2nd, you're going to be able to quite literally just buy it and get free shipping. Shipping is currently free through February 2nd. So if you guys want to get free shipping and heavily discounted merch, you can get the I'm the Fedora Wearing Asshole Not You shirt. You can get the Nintendo Tuesday inspired shirts. You can even get the fucking I'm Sassy stamp of approval shirt, all without paying too much. It's heavily discounted. So I suggest you guys check that out. I'm way over time for this, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and as always, I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys!